Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's your boy Mr. Box Office from Mr. Box Office TV, back with another show for you today. And on the show today, I want to speak about Tottenham Hotspurs seem to be moving, having a master plan, a master plan in place with the rumours of Savio being talks with Tottenham Hotspur. And just in, with some rumours that are coming in now that Tottenham Hotspur in talks with Savinho Eze as well. So they're moving quick, Tottenham Hotspur, because the time is now. It's the season upon us. And now things need to really get going. Get going quickly. Because the squad that we're seeing right now, if you saw the 25-man squad for the Super Cup, is a pretty much a joke. Let's be honest. But welcome to the show of all shows, Mr. Box Office himself, a main event, the Professor of Truth and Entertainment, the person that Sarah says that he can twist like a pretzel, but really, let's be honest here, doesn't even know what a pretzel is. Let's be honest here. You know what I mean? The cheek of a man. You know what I mean? Getting a little bit too confident in his boots right now, thinking he can take on the main event like that. But anyway, moving on. The cringe, I was told by Wolfie, when there are actually other people that are more cringier than Mr. Box Office. It's just that Mr. Box Office don't kiss backsides. That's all it is, and that's it. So, like I say, when people open things up and start talking crap, I'll make a note of it, and it will be in the mind of the main event. You know what I mean? Because let's be honest here, when you've got a Tottenham team that don't really do nothing right now, and put a little spot, a little bit of a BOMBA, they call it. This is the BOMBA of a transfer of Savinho coming to Tottenham. It looks obviously very exciting, but it feels like deja vu, like they say. But we'll get straight into it in the show. So just wait and just stay tuned. But for the viewers, thank you for watching. Thank you for all watching on this Tuesday morning. I know I do apologise to the viewers that I did have this scheduled for yesterday, but like I say, when it's a nice day outside, do you think I'm going to be sitting in streams trying to talk about Tottenham Hotspur, the same things, like I said? But we're all doing it right now. This is going to be another short, sharp show from your main event. And we'll get straight into it with the main subject, which we really do need to talk about, like everybody is talking about right now. And his name is Savinho. Savinho, Tottenham opened club to top talks to sign Savinho from Man City. Negotiations ongoing between the Spurs and City. And understand Savinho's open to the move if the clubs can agree on a fee. Thomas Frank indicated Savinho as an ideal player. And there you go. Big news yesterday. Massive news yesterday that we are linked to Savinho from Man City. Now, looking on the face of it, when I saw this come up on my timeline, not that I'm on Twitter or anything like that. No, I don't do that rubbish, because that's the reason why I'm Mr. Box Office. But moving on, straight to the point. When I saw this on my timeline, I thought, interesting. Very interesting. Going for somebody that, let's be honest here, is really on trend, like pretty much up the trajectory, really, you could say. Playing for one of the top teams of the past 2 decades, playing for the manager of the top, who's really the best, you would say, of the last 2 decades as well. And an opportunity to get somebody that really is on the upward trajectory, that is better than what we've got, go straight into that first team. It's something that you just think, for 43 million, you thought, wow, 50 million, wow, that's quite a lot. That's quite a good deal for a player like that sort of quality. So I was sort of thinking, looking at some certain things, looking at his past, and it's quite clear his best time at in football so far in his career has been at Girona. That's why he got that move to Man City, Savinho. And let's be honest, he was steady. I would say more steady at Man City. He had his problems, he had his strengths as well, which you can see. I mean, it was hard for him to cut open solid defenses. Sometimes he went into no man's land. Sometimes there were certain times where and that's because of proxy, because he was playing for Man City. And you know, when teams are playing Man City, they're very tight at the back. That's what really affected him maybe in certain games. But then you see the skill of this guy, dribbling past players, you know, going into different positions. The fact he's been trained and drilled by Pep Guardiola. And you just look at it and think, for the first time, you're going to ever hear Mr. Box Office say this. So don't get used to it. A perfect signing for Tottenham Hotspur. If you look at his time at Girona, you think he's in a big pond where I think with Girona, he was in a small pond. I think going back to Tottenham Hotspur, he won't be in that big pond. He'll be in a bit of a small pond where we're trying to be big. Now, yeah, fan base wise, I'm not talking about fan base wise. I'm talking about club wise in terms of the natural we are at the moment. We're not better than some of the big teams at the moment, are we? Man City, Man United, even though we beat them in the Europa League, Arsenal, Chelsea. We're not better than those teams right now. So going to move like this at Tottenham Hotspur with the manager that we have right now, it looks like a very good fit, with the fact that also he puts that void, he would take that void of Son and maybe even take that void of Maddison right now, because unfortunately that is a big gaping hole right now. Now there are other things that we do need to speak about, because there are other rumours out there about other players as well. We'll get into it. A certain Crystal Palace player that, let's be honest, they look very good. But going back onto Savinho, it's one of those moves that I say will definitely raise the standard of Tottenham Hotspur, and that's why I'm saying he goes into it. But one thing I do say, a lot of Man City fans, from what I saw, weren't happy about the move, whatsoever. They said, why are we selling a top talent like that? Why are we selling a top talent like that, who, for me, could be, be looked at as someone that could be City's future? But with City, the way some of the players that they've got, and now this is where there's the multitasking is coming to hand right now. When you look at Manchester City's squad right now, there are rumours and there are opinions out there that Manchester City's squad, he might be down the pecking order because of the way that Manchester City squad are at this present stage, and he's becoming a bit of a cropper in that squad right now. So really, that's the overarching opinion of the rumours of Tottenham being linked with Savinho and Man City. And if you look at some of the comparisons to, and I think I can bring something up as well for you, ladies and gentlemen. Big up to everybody in the chat, by the way. Thank you for watching. Please do me a favor. Please like and subscribe. Like when you're in here right now. Mr. Box Office doing his stream solo again for you guys. like always, every single time, because the main event, when he's the main event don't need people to come, and it's nice to have some guests, but when you have the main event is the main event for a reason. But anyway, but if you look at some of his stats here, if people can look at that right now, I don't know whether people can see this right now. You see his stats compared to Tell. You can see there are very much a lot of strengths there, better than what Tell's got at the moment. And I think they're kind of similar age in that fact. So that just shows you some of the quality of what we have in terms of Savinho if we do get him. Now I need to speak about Tottenham Hotspur in general, and that why they think now they need to start getting this deal done very, very quickly. But I would say this, and big up to people in the chat. Big up to people in the chat, by the way. Big up to everybody. Big up to Glenn Hoddle, who's in here very early on, like yesterday. Big up to Phil Coys. Big up to Jimmy Hotspur. Big up to Ghosted. Big up to Ghosted for always supporting. Big up to Miss Bunny. And big up to Phil again, who's coming in saying, don't be talking down about my player, Alex. Oh, well, I've got to be honest, unfortunately, Phil Poise, he needs to prove himself like Thomas Frank, unfortunately. So there you go. But moving on. But like I say, big up to everybody who's watching, by the way. But yeah, like I say, I feel for me, he definitely improves on what we've got, and he goes straight into that first team. And really, Tottenham Hotspur have really got to get a jiggle on with it. Let's be honest here, because if they don't get a jiggle on with it, other teams will come in. Because I don't believe in the rumours that he just wants to go to Tottenham. It just seems a bit ominous, premature, thinking that he just wants to go to Tottenham, because a top talent like that can obviously go very, very quickly to a top team, I say. A top team. Newcastle, we on that all day, every single day. Big teams, we're looking at that. Chelsea might even look at it, even if they did, if they don't get the signing that they want on the wing. But teams in Europe might want him. There are loads of other teams that will be looking at that, and for me, it'd be very, very silly of Tottenham Hotspur thinking that they can get Savinho for 43 million, under 50 million, or 50 million exact, when you see players like Mbremo going for 65 million, Cunha going for 65 million. There was quoted for I forgot his name now, from Bournemouth. He was going for about 70 million. So Manchester City were obviously going to look for a huge fee for Savinho. There's no way he's going to go. And it only goes back to the whole point about the whole thing with the next person that we're linked with, Eze. Tottenham Hotspur linked with him, which we'll get into a bit later as well. So when you look at some of the fees that are paid at the moment, Tottenham Hotspur are not going to be able to get away with paying so little for a player like that. I know there was opportunities to go and get Grealish, who's obviously gone to Everton now on loan, but that's a different matter. That's a different matter, and that's a risk. That's a high risk of taking him, but I was worth taking him because of the experience. But for an experienced player in the Premier League like Savinho, Tottenham Hotspur really have to pay top dollar for him. And that's just the potsy of what the market is, the market rate. Because, like I say, those players mentioned right now, there's no way Tottenham Hotspur are able to get away with paying so little for a player like that quality. There's no way, absolutely no way. Watching him for Girona a little bit, seeing him on that left-hand side, he sticks on that left-hand side. He's very much stickler, and he's very much someone that just goes about his business, and he causes that much problem. And I think this sort of signing will light a fire in the likes of Kudos. That's how good it could be, because then you've got two actual wingers that will actually try and get past their man, dribble past their man. It'll be as spontaneous as well, and maybe give a little bit more license to do more off the cuff as well, which will make him grow as a player. So this could be a very, very important signing. A very, very important signing if Tottenham Hotspur can get this over the line. Obviously now, reports now saying that this is a bit premature to say that this signing is going to be is any way further forward than we thought. This has been spoken about by Fabrizio Romano, and others have corroborated his story. So we have to wait and see what happens on Savinho going forward. It'd be an interesting thing to see. Obviously, it looks like now it's way too late for the Super Cup, which at the moment I know a certain someone is not fit. Well, is suspended for that game, and certain someone is not fit for that game against Tottenham. Well, no, he's suspended. He's suspended. So you have to bear with me. It is 8:45 in the morning, so you have to bear with me a sec. But yeah, this is what we're going to have to see. We have to see what happens. But big up to everybody who's watching, by the way. Big up to everybody who's watching so far, and appreciated that you're supporting the main event. But yeah, no drama for the cup yet. No drama for the cup yet. That's it. And yeah, opinions as well. Yeah, definitely. But they have to get a jiggle on. Yeah, I think a lot of people are saying they need to get a jiggle on. Definitely. But I saw some rumors today. And this is from Paul O'Keefe. Paul O'Keefe says that, and I should bring it up right now. Paul O'Keefe says, and even more news. Okay, even more news has just come out. Even more news. Shot off the press from Fabrizio Romano. Eberechi Eze, who Tottenham Hotspur are linked with or have got in contact with, which is unrelated to the Savinho deal. So breaking news here, guys. Breaking news on Mr. Box Office TV for you viewers. I've got to get my Sky Sports tie on right now. Sky Sports tie on to say, we got some breaking news. Let's be professional now. We got some breaking news here. As you would have known, Tottenham Hotspur made contact with Crystal Palace in the regards to Eberechi Eze, with the conditions with talks hopefully to talks have taken place. That's what it says here for the Eberechi Eze deal. So, and this is unrelated to the Savinho deal. This is from Paul O'Keefe. But then 2 minutes ago, Fabrizio Romano has just reported that Eberechi Eze is keen on joining Tottenham Hotspur. Spurs are back in talks in separate deal from Savinho. Deal depends on Crystal Palace as release expires. So the release clause looks like it's expired. Deal depends on Palace as release clause has expired. Okay, so a little bit more news on Savinho Eze. Tottenham Hotspur look very interested in trying to get started with trying to purchase Savinho Eze, who dazzled in the Community Shield yesterday on Sunday. I saw a little bit of the highlights of the game, and it just shows you he's growing, and well, I think there's going to be a lot of takers for him. Let's be honest here. I have to say this: Glasner is doing absolutely awesome things at Crystal Palace, and I'll be honest with you, I do not see Glasner being at Crystal Palace anytime soon. I think that move, I think he's going to go to a top team. I do not see, if Crystal Palace do not back this man, he's going to be off. And I think there's been some rumours about him leaving as well. But Savinho Eze, for me, is someone that I think Tottenham Hotspur definitely need. I think it's made it very, very clear from what you've seen from pre-season. Tottenham Hotspur look very, very, very functional at the moment, especially with that functional front three in Richarlison, Johnson, and Kudos. You only got Kudos who can really do things off the cuff, try and get past his man, twist and turn. He's got a little bit of low gravity about him as well. And you can see that he's got that little bit of magic that can do something out of the ordinary. All the others just look ordinary. People can talk to me about Alderweireld. I'm bored of talking about Alderweireld. I'm being honest with you. I don't see what people see in him. I don't think he's that great. I think everybody knows I need a little bit more, a little bit more to see, a little bit more rather than just endeavour and trying. That's what I feel like he's doing. He's trying. He's trying to do stuff, but it just doesn't feel like, with me saying, yeah, I'm really on you. Yeah, I really want to see this. Yes, yeah. I definitely want to see this from you. I just feel like he just doesn't give me anything. He doesn't give me anything at all. Tell the same. He gives me moments, like Burval gives me moments, but moments are okay. But you need to be a bit more than just moments, because one moment you still might lose the game. Just because you had your moment in the game, great, but if the other team's got more moments in them, you've lost that game. And that's what you're going to see in the Champions League. Those players, those top players have got more moments in them at crucial times. So you can't just live on one moment. You got to do snappy. More moments. And that's the thing. So this is the thing. I think Eze, for me, I think he's helped him that he's playing for a club like Crystal Palace. I think he's looked at it and thinking, well, there's a spot at Tottenham. There's an obvious number 10 spot at Tottenham where, and this leans into the article from Alistair Gold. Now, I just need to get this up, and I'll get this up for you guys right now. I'm just getting that right now. There's a good article from Alistair Gold, and I just need to get that up right now. Big up to everybody who's watching right now. Whoever, please like and subscribe to the show. Please like and subscribe to the show, because it really will help myself grow. And please help me get up to 2,000 subscribers. Your main event is here. The haters. Where are the haters? Where are the haters? They will not go on Savage show, go on Sean's show, go on. Well, Sean's only got me on once, so I can't really give him too much credit. He completely forgets about the main event, doesn't he? Now he's got too big now for his boots. Yeah, I mean, when I'm on George's show, when I'm on all these shows, I see all these haters, but they don't turn up. Where's Jordan? Where's Jordan? Jordan, who calls me out all the time, says, "Oh, you're waffling. Where are you, lot?" But you don't turn up. You don't turn up. Where are you? You know what I mean? You're nowhere. You're nowhere, bro. You're absolutely nowhere. You know what I mean? So I'm here on my own, solo. You can come and target the main event with your questions. See if I waffle, but I'm not. I'm here. I'm here, and you don't seem you're not here. You don't turn up, and you expect me to take you seriously. You expect me to take you seriously. You know what I mean? So that's all I've got to say. You know what I mean? They're scared of the main event, like they say, Bunny. Mrs. Bunny says. You know? Don't know what else to say, really. You know? But yeah, let me get back to the article because we're going to have to wrap up soon, unfortunately, guys. I do apologize, guys, but like I say, this I think something that I might have to try and do. This article here from Alistair Gold. He mentions about Johan Lang's master plan, and one of the things that he mentioned was the number 10. The number 10 position. He also mentions about the new centre-back, which is interesting. Also mentions about Slom's replacement, which is what we've been talking about possibly with Savinho. And also a loan of Scarlett, who I think just needs to be, I think he needs to go as far as I'm concerned. I think he just needs to go, leave. I think he just needs to leave, really, for me. I think a lot of youngsters do need to leave. I've got to be honest. I think it's got to that point now. I think it's got to the point now with the youngsters, definitely. But the number 10 position is the main point because we look so functional at the moment, and it's very difficult to get very excited at the moment. It's very, very difficult to get very excited at the moment as a Spurs fan watching Tottenham at the moment because obviously he's working on the defence, which makes a lot of sense because we let in so many goals, Thomas Frank. But with the attack, if you haven't got time to do all that at the moment with the attack, you're going to have to find players that can really just get things going, just to hit the ground running. And that's why I think Eze at the moment is perfect for Tottenham at the moment. He might give that inspiration, especially with Savinho as well, just that inspiration. And again, Tottenham Hotspur, if they want the player, Crystal Palace are only going to sell if we give the money right now. We've left it too late right now to start negotiating, to try and negotiate a deal too low. You know exactly what to do. And with the rumours now that the release clause is expired, Crystal Palace can do a command. You know, and especially now that they're under pressure now for the manager because now he's doing bits what he's doing at the moment. He's hot property at the moment. They can't let him go right now because he is making them doing things that they've never done before in a long time. They're winning trophies. They're beating Liverpool. They're beating Man City in cup finals. Regardless what you think about the Community Shield, that's a big result for Crystal Palace. That's a massive result. And they deserve to win the game. And Savinho Eze is main part of that squad that makes it tick. So you think that Crystal Palace are going to let him go for 10p? Tottenham Hotspur need to think about it really big time. They've got to be. They can't mess them about. They can't mess about because they will not get that deal done. And it's the same with Savinho. Same things with these both players. If we need those players, unfortunately, we can talk about the finances, about how much FFP, whatever. You can talk about all these things. The fact is, we are Champions League. We're in Champions League this season. And if we're not careful, it could be a very, very tough watch this season. Whether we're defensively strong, we are not good in attack. And that's quite obvious. we might have a chance against PSG. We might have a chance against PSG, which is shocking coming from Mr. Box Office's mouth. Because PSG have just come out of a World Club Cup championship. So they're still reading from that. So when you get the opportunity, when you get opportunities now, you got to take them. And Tottenham Hotspur could, you know, if at the weak point, PSG, Tottenham Hotspur could strike. That's what they could do. But I don't see that team, unfortunately, doing it at the moment. I do not see it. And that's all I've got to say. But this is to be continued because, like I say, this is going to be a short, sharp show. I'm going to have to wrap up the show. Big up to everybody who's watching. Please like and subscribe to the show. Like I say, I'm solo right now for you guys. Unfortunately, it's just a half an hour of a show today. But hopefully have more of a show for you tonight or later on at lunchtime for you guys to continue the discussions on the Tottenham Hotspur transfer window. We'll also hopefully go into the conversation about the Super Cup tomorrow against PSG, and hopefully then we can start making some predictions on the season. And I'll be honest with you guys, regardless what happens after the Super Cup, I kind of know where I know Tottenham Hotspur. I'm going to predict where Tottenham Hotspur going to finish this season, and I think people will start to agree what I'm saying as well. But that will leave. I'll leave that for a little spoiler later on in the week. But big up to you guys. Thank you all for watching. And big up to everybody who's watching, by the way. Big up to Mrs. Bunny. Big up to Moon, the Booniverse. Big up to Sol Vicard. Big up to you. Big up to Mohammed. Big up to you. Big up to 164 Spurs. Big up to you. Big up to Rinda. Big up to Phil Quiz. Big up to you. Big up to everybody who's watching all over the world. And as always, big up to Mapping as well. But big up to everybody who's watching. And please, like I said, like and subscribe to the show. Keep your notifications on when I go live. And as always, like we always do every single time, on the morning of a disappointment where you have a shock of a rumor about a top player like Savinho coming into Tottenham, but deja vu again. It doesn't look like it's going to happen right now, and Tottenham Hotspur need to spend more money. Typical Daniel Levy, a typical Spursy thing as well, isn't it? And as always, if you didn't know, get to know. Support your boy, Mr. Box Office. Subscribe and like. And come on, you Spurs. And we're out.